We should be enemies, you know.
Shmuel said nothing.
Just staring at the sweets. Want to eat? Look at Shmuel's pure expression. Bruno still smiled happily. He still felt his father was too cold.
What kind of man is your father?
Is he a good man?
Did you never think he isn't?
Are you proud of him? Aren't you proud of your father? At that moment, an officer rushed in. How dare he speak to the people in the room?
What audacity! Are you eating? Did you steal a bite?
Answer me. No, he gave it to me. He's my friend. Do you know this Jewish man?
No, I just arrived. He was already eating.
I've never seen him before. His loud shout startled Bruno. He thought of all they'd said before. He became scared, so he instinctively lied, but he regretted it after. When he went back to look for Shmuel, he was already gone. He ran to the place where they used to meet. Shmuel was still not there. He never saw Shmuel again. He suspected something had happened to Shmuel, but that day he saw his father screening a film for the guests after completing a day's work.
Best place to share a hearty dinner with friends and family. The kids love eating the pastries there.
In the film, he thought he misunderstood his father, so he ran up and hugged him tightly, but only his mother in the shadows knew this is all a lie. But naive Bruno believed. He started running to the main farm every day, until many days later, he finally saw Shmuel again. Shmuel.
He learned a harsh lesson.
Shmuel said nothing. Bruno explained to him. Others were saying things about the Jews. That soldier was also very scary. He worried they couldn't be friends. He spoke to Shmuel. Shmuel, I'm sorry about that day. We're still friends, right?
Shmuel was silent for a moment,
But she forgave him. The two made up just like that.
ever since learning the truth about the camp,
Mother was close to a breakdown.
after her constant pleading,
Father finally agreed to let her take the children away. But at that time, Bruno had already liked it here, especially after watching the film Father showed. He came to play with Shmuel every day. They played chess together. But Father had already made a decision. They would leave the next day. Faced with the sudden news, Bruno could only sadly bid farewell to Shmuel. But then he hears some bad news. I can't find my dad.
he went off with some others to do something else.
He still hasn't returned. He still feels guilty about what happened before.
He wants to make it right before he leaves.
I really hope I can help you find your dad. I want to make up for disappointing you before. This should work, right? I will help you find your dad. He thinks this will make up for it, for the hurt caused to Shmuel earlier. He suddenly realizes the soil can be dug. He comes up with a good idea. He could dig a hole, sneak into the camp, together help Shmuel find his dad. The two discuss and think it's possible, so they made a plan. Shmuel helps him find a striped outfit. Bruno brings some food. Neither of them sleeps well that night. They both look forward to tomorrow's secret mission. The next day, Bruno made an enormous sandwich, hidden in clothes. He lied to Mom about one last swing. His mother, without suspicion, agreed, so he secretly took the shovel. He ran to the fence.
Go meet Shmuel.
Shmuel brought some clothes. Bruno took off his clothes. He switched to striped PJs. How do I look? The thunder seemed to warn Bruno. Keep him out. But Bruno ignored it. He quickly started digging. His mom was ready to go. She noticed Bruno wasn't at the swing. She started searching around. At that moment, Bruno had already crawled through the hole into the camp. The two exchanged excited smiles. They began exploring the camp,
Looking for Shmuel's father.
but Bruno quickly says something was off. This place was nothing like what he saw in the film.
Shmuel.
Can we go to the cafe? The cafe? He saw something was off. He wished to leave. Maybe I should go home. What about my dad? But faced with Shmuel's question, Bruno hesitated.
He paused to think.
He decided to help Shmuel find his father first. So they entered the house in the camp. The soldiers gathered everyone together. What's wrong?
They often make us line up.
They were packed tightly in the crowd.
They couldn't move at all.
They had to follow the line. Meanwhile, his mother and sister were searching for him. They found the sandwich that Bruno had dropped. They also saw the open window.
They suddenly saw how serious it was.
So they immediately told their father.
The father had the soldiers open the gate right away.
They searched with police dogs. And there were scattered clothes on the ground. He was brought to an underground room.
The soldiers ordered everyone to undress.
Others assured them it was just a bat. Naive Bruno followed along. He didn't notice the fear on everyone else's faces. Everyone was stripped naked, then herded into a sealed chamber. People began to wail.
Toxic gas poured in through the pipes overhead.
By the time Bruno's father arrived, it was all too late.
Bruno,
He never dreamed that his crimes could lead to his son's death. Bruno never understood why until the end. He just went to play with a friend for a while. How could it end up like this? As bystanders, we can clearly see what's truly happening here. But Bruno is just an 8-year-old child. All along, he believed this camp was just a farm. The prisoner uniforms were for playing. He noticed the foul smoke smell, but he didn't know it was the smell of burning. From his perspective, his father was a good and honorable soldier. He was striving to make lives better. He believed those in pajamas at the farm were living happily. They were working hard, and when tired, could go to a cafe, have a coffee, and take a break. So when he entered the camp, he asked, "Can we go to the cafe?" But he also had many questions. He didn't understand why his mother's eyes were swollen from crying, why they kept him there to stay here, why a doctor was at his home peeling potatoes, why he was beaten for just overturning a wine glass. Damn stupid Jews. Why just taking a bath?
Never woke up again.
He carried those doubts to another world.
Perhaps there
won't be anyone in striped pajamas. Maybe after he knows everything, he'll make a wish for this world.
hoping for world peace.